Hello, everyone. So let's talk about Advisor Desktop. But before that, let's talk about something else. So imagine after a week of hard work, you have big plans for a weekend. You want to binge watch the episodes of your favorite TV shows. And guess what? Friday evening, you find out that your internet is down. No Wi-Fi. So what do? You choose your obvious self-service channels, try to interact with the internet service provider, won't help. So try to get into a call with your service provider. After a wait on the phone, you would get connected to the agent, and then you do what? You pray and hope that this agent is well equipped, understands your problem, has the systems and tools in place to support him or her to solve your problems in a most effective and fast way. So let's talk about these agents, these people, these human beings that use our products several hours a day for months and hopefully for years. So you would have looked at these numbers in earlier presentations as well. So this is from Gartner's survey report. 84% of agents are dissatisfied with the systems and tools that they use to interact with their customers. On an average, the agents have to hop over 8.2 different tools per day like a human glue. So we watched several call centers and contact centers over years, and we see increasing challenges that the agents face. You must have also seen this slide earlier. I just want you to look at the bottom part. So all the businesses would have at least one, and most of the times, multiples of these systems that the agents have to work through in order to service their customers. There are growing numbers of channels: social, messaging, chat, email, apps, video, et cetera, et cetera. There's growing complexity of interactions. The easier ones are eaten up by self-service channels. Your virtual assistants, your websites will solve those. When the customers get in contact with human beings, they normally have complex problems that the agents have to deal with. There's a growing number of back-end systems as the businesses develop new sophisticated systems of record. There's overwhelming amount of data around customers, no easy way to use it. The desktops from the phone world are shoehorned into the omni-channel world. There is no collaboration inbuilt in the environment, no guidance inbuilt, no way for the agents to contribute feedback into the system in the enterprise, their insights, their expertise. No gamification, no feedback for agents as they plot through the workday. Single screen apps being used in the double screen agent environments. So the agents need to and want to be more digital, and they have to deal with complex tasks. On the other hand, the customers are very short on time. They seek easy, and they want instant gratifications. So agent experience becomes more and more important. The new generation agents do not like to use the old school tools. They live digital, and they want to work digital. So we went out to build a new framework which is going to be easy, elegant, and effective. And let's see how we solve all the challenges that we saw in place. So in terms of the apps that the agent have to use, now we're not trying to embed all kinds of apps. We're not trying to embed the desktop apps, the installables that are there on the desktop. As an engineer, if you ask me, I believe it's much easier to develop APIs for the legacy systems than try to force fit them into the user interface of the modern world, the web world. So if you have a web application or a website, you can embed it into the advisor desktop just by providing a URL, and then you're done. The advisors will get a pane which will load this data, and they can use it as and when and however they want to use it. To get to the next level, if you want these third-party panes to be dynamic And as the agent is working across different activities, so based on the customer, the case, the activity that they're working on, if you want these panes to change, you can just provide a custom parameter or multiple custom parameters in the URL, and we'll fit it at runtime as appropriate. And the third level, which is the most important level that we have built, is where these third-party panes can exchange messages amongst themselves and with the panes that come out of the box from eGain. And this is a very powerful framework that you have now at your hands, where you can think of very interesting things that you can do. For example, as the agent is interacting with the customer then through chat, and the chat messages are pouring into our reply pane, we publish these messages so that the third-party panes can also listen to these messages and then probably reach out to external APIs or something and provide and come back and show interesting information to the agents in the third-party pane. So then comes Flex. So with Flex, what we are doing is we are providing the advisors the ability to lay out the desktop in the most optimal way that works for them. So you can either pick from the configured layouts, but remember, you can also embed your third-party panes, so it will be more obvious that you have to actually customize your layout, bring the panes which are of most importance up in front, and then hide the panes which are less important into a toolbox. So if you notice this screenshot, this is not the regular advisor desktop layout. You see the knowledge pane right up in the center, which has been taken out because the advisor feels that they're going to be using that pane more and more. And as I said, if you embed lots of different third-party apps and panes, you can probably fall short of the real estate. And that's where comes this. So we give you the ability to flex the desktop across multiple monitors. And we see that more and more agents have access to this. And remember, these are connected panes. So they are either joined through context parameters or through messaging layer. So as the agent is switching between activities, all the panes reflect the current information. So you cannot be wrong while looking at something on the other monitor. OK, next, let's talk about collaborate and contribute. So we give the agents the ability to right-click something in the response area. They can highlight it and then contribute it back to the knowledge base in the system. We can also give them the ability to ask questions to their colleagues or the team members or supervisors, other advisors, and seek their help. So we have a nice little internal chat that they can do on the sides. And you can also actually use those advices back at a later point in time because they are always there in the system. Now, if you look at this small little thing at the right bottom corner, we call them intelligent bubbles. Now, out of the box, we can show some interesting messages over there. But this can be very powerful if you're using it with external apps. Now, remember, we are pushing all the interesting messages to all the third-party apps and third-party panes. So you can, for example, based on the chat message that are coming in from the customers, you can look up some other system and provide the most important message that you want to show to the agent in those intelligent bubbles. They serve as your actionable insight area, the one most important thing that can show up here. For example, if nothing else, you can reach out to Instagram and probably find out the information and show it to the agent that the customer just posted the picture of their favorite cat. So he must be in a good mood, right? That could be a very interesting information for your sales agent. And you already heard about process guidance, our AI-driven process guidance, and how it has been effectively used by multiple people around here and in the various presentations. So the process guidance, that is when our knowledge is embedded in our advisor desktop, has better information available. For example, if the agent is working on a particular activity case for a customer, all that information that we have about the customer or the case or the activity can be used to answer all the questions in the process guidance. And also, we can reach out to the information in the third-party systems and bring it all inside the process guidance to answer the questions. Now, process guidance is good. See, when the agent has joined the company, after the training, when they start working on the advisor desktop to solve customer problems, we give them all the information, do this, say this, again and again, everything, compliance is taken care of, et cetera, et cetera. They're very happy. But after, let's say, after 3 months, 6 months, once they're expert, what do? They will start complaining. Why are you going to tell me again and again to do this or say this? That's where our solution about personalization comes in. So what you see in this process guidance is driven by the profile of the agent, is driven by other factors like channel and type, et cetera. As Ian was mentioning, you can be expert in one area today, but if you switch into a different area, probably need to start with a more granular level of process guidance. Okay, so having said that the level of guidance can be dynamically based on agent performance as well. Last but not the least, gamification. So we think it's very important for the agents as they work through their day to give them some kind of feedback on how they're doing. So we think gamification and agent feedback is something we can do because of our insight-driven analytical capabilities that we have in our product. Okay, so we have one interface to rule them all. We have omni-channel, knowledge-infused, AI-guided, all those nice things. And we have Flex. So we've built this foundation. It's a solid foundation, but all the innovations and the capabilities and the features that we are building, we really need your help and feedback. So do talk to us. Come join us at the demo stations. Tell us about what you would want us to build. And if there is one thing that I want you to take back from this presentation, that would be that you have this framework where you can embed third-party apps and have them talk to each other through our messaging layer, configure your layout in the most optimal way, probably stretch it across multiple monitors if you have access to, and build amazing experiences for your agents. Thank you so much. That's Ashish Kumar. I'll see you at the demo stations. Thank you so much. Have a great day.